my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can see, we have a pick a card reading where we're going to be diving into the energy of December. I'm a little bit late, maybe 3 days late, I think, at the start of December. I kind of wanted to get this video up for you guys earlier, but if you don't know, we have a new arrival. Our little one was born, and we've been figuring it out in the best way possible. I'm actually wearing her right now. Baby wearing. She's wrapped on my chest. So if you hear any cooing, she is nestled in very warmly and she's very cozy, but she's making some baby noises. So I figured you guys would be able to enjoy her little comforting sounds. I just can't believe that she's here. I feel so grateful. It was such, I don't want to say a journey, bringing her into this world. Everything happens as it should, and we're just so grateful to have her here. We're so grateful that she's safe and that I'm safe and that we're able to do this together, and we're able to do this at all. So I really wanted to share this moment with you guys, and also thank every single one of you who have been patient with me the entire time of my pregnancy, and encouraging and supportive and like expectant and excited. You guys' energy has been very contagious and has contributed to our own excitement as we got ready as we were preparing to be parents, and it's finally here. So thank you again. But let's not wait this any longer. You know, I really love our time together, and I'm really excited to see what these cards and these messages have for us today. So we are going to be diving into the energy of December. However, I really like to keep things open because divine timing always has a way of making itself known loud and clear. So if you were listening to this video or listening to these messages in December, right as I upload them, then that's so wonderful. If you're listening to this in February, that's wonderful too, because it just, you know, there's a message here for you. Listen to your intuition and when you feel called. This is the first message here. We're going to be diving into what we need to hear, advice, preparation, and just allowing myself to channel. That's what I do best. So this is the first message here. This is the second message here, and the third right here. Feel free to pick one messages, two messages, three messages. I know so many of you guys actually vibe with all of them consistently, where you just kind of listen to the entirety and you pull something from each message group. And I love that. I love that you don't follow the rules, that you do what you feel called to do. You're honoring your feelings. I do the same thing. So, again, I hope that you guys enjoy her little cooing noises, and let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, love bugs, let's go ahead and dive in. If you chose this pile, the first one, this is your message. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the tarot cards. I haven't seen any of these cards or oracle as I was shuffling. Let's go ahead and see the vibe. We have King of Wands or Knight of Wands reverse. This feels like it should be upright. The Sun card, Eight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and Judgment. That's so funny because I actually heard the word judgment in my head. I kind of feel like this needs to be here, and this needs to be here. Okay, so right away, the energy that it is that I'm getting for the month of December is really about breaking barriers, breaking ground for you. Huge. This is undeniable. I say that undeniable because there's no questioning my intuition right now. This feels like the loudest. I'm actually getting an image of someone with a jackhammer, the things that they use in order to break concrete. And it feels really like sometimes when I'm channeling, I kind of have to sit and wait. Your message feels very like hitting, like pulling a bow and arrow and hitting the mark. this has a lot to do with groundbreaking right now. What does this mean? This means that, like, what does this mean? Spirit, talk to me about this. Okay. When I see groundbreaking energy, I feel like we are finally, I don't say building, but we're getting the foundation. We're getting the foundation prepared in your life, right? I also think like things that were traditional, things that you were normally doing, like routines, friendships. It's like this spirit of outgrowing. You're outgrowing certain things, certain connections, certain energies. I also get a strong sense of clarity. If you were waiting for direction, if you were waiting for, okay, what is my purpose? If you're waiting for something to begin within your life, for some of you guys, it could be starting college. For some of you, it could be starting a new chapter and like a new job, like launching your business. For some of you, it's really big about launching your business or helping people. Finally making moves. For someone here was in the planning stages, planning. Now we're building. I do get a message. Sorry, your angels and guides, the way that they're coming through, they're like ecstatic. So I'm kind of getting that secondhand like stutterization. For someone here, you may have like a moment where you're kind of like frustrated. It's a feeling that's similar to frustration, but it's when you want to go fast, like you want to start something so quick, or you're ready, and it feels like there might be barriers or obstacles, or like, so it's like when you have so many things that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, like a list of things, and you don't even know like where to begin. I'm also getting an image of a race car. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, like the energy, just the way that I'm channeling it, it's like not agitated, but like excited, like very excited, like you're tripping over your words, right? I'm getting an image of a race car, and when you hit the gas and it kind of peels out, that's kind of the vibe that it is that I'm getting here for you guys for December. And I also hear your angels and your guides, they're watching you kind of like peel out, and they're laughing, like, or an ancestor or someone here is laughing at your enthusiasm, and they love that you're enthralled. That's the word that they use, enthralled, like excited, hands on deck, ready, prepared. There's no need to slow down here right now. Even now that I think about it, you have the Knight of Wands, which makes a whole lot of sense. Excuse me. You have the Knight of Wands, who is excited and building this energy and like ready to go and all hands on deck. And there's no need. I really get this energy from your angels and your guides. Just a second. Again, hold on. Excuse me, my allergies are a little bit wonky right now. There's no need to slow down, right? For someone here, this doesn't mean that you do anything reckless or that you do anything unsafe. Definitely listen to your own judgment and your intuition at the end of the day. Like always, that comes first and foremost. But this is all signs are a go. The fact that we started this reading off with the image, the visual of a jackhammer hitting through the concrete shows how quickly, how fast, how ready, how prepared you are for this next season within your life. As I'm saying that, what are you doing to prepare? That's what I hear Spirit saying loud and clear. What are you doing to prepare? What have you done to prepare? All of these plans, all of this markup of things that you like have been getting, like for some of you guys, you've been, I don't say the word that came through was hoarding, but the way that Spirit shows it to me, it's not hoarding like you're holding on to clutter. It's like a squirrel gathering nuts and preparing for an off season. So whatever you've been doing to prepare yourself for this season, now is the time to use it. Now's the time, like, don't waste this energy. Don't waste the preparation. Don't waste the time that you took, that you feel guided, that you felt led, that you were called to prepare for this season, because it happens right now. For someone here, you're branching out, you're launching out. I'm also getting like a writer or an author. It's giving self-promotion or self-publication. This is like all hands on deck. Don't expect perfection from yourself. Just do it. Someone here also needs to hear that you don't need things to be perfect. You just need to make it exist. Focus on Focus on what you feel called to do. Focus on the creation. Don't wait for things to be perfect and feel aligned and like the help. You just get going, like you get started, you get that momentum going, and everything will follow behind you. It's almost like a current that pulls in the ocean. The power of the current kind of pulls the shells and pulls the animals behind it. You have no choice. Like, you have nothing. There's no choice but to follow where the current goes. Guys, you are the current in this situation. December, or at least the time that you're listening to this video, if you chose this, it's a very active time frame. The Judgment card usually represents like the energy of like awakening or rebirth or reemergence. I do see that if you were in a period of, I don't say downward spiral, but where you were withdrawn, like in your element, in your zone. I don't know if you guys can see this too, but like there's a lot of heat coming off of my body as I'm channeling this, which is not, I've actually been like erring on the side of coolness lately. So that just goes to show you right there. I don't know if you guys saw that. But I definitely feel like it's the Knight of Wands energy here that it is, and I'm picking up on. There's just so much action and so much heat and so much fire. It's kind of a blessing to start off with you guys' reading first, because I feel like what are the other messages going to say? What are they going to be like? But they also, this message is like really adding some heat to help me get through the other messages, which I'm excited to hear those too. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, it's like if you were in a downward spiral. Not that you were doing bad, but it's like this inward seeking moment, like, or inward seeking season of reflection, of preparation, of research, gathering. They keep using the word hoarding. But again, I don't see it as hoarding trash or clutter. I see it as collecting and preparation, like for what's to come, and what's to come is now. So I'm also getting the word harvest for someone here. It's you, whatever you've been building, it's time to like cook. It's time to get like map things out, like really like, and I say this as a metaphor, like the cooking, but maybe it could be literal. Like if you're starting a cooking company, a cooking company or a catering company, selling plates or something. There's something here about like if you were planning a menu, now you're implementing the menu, now you're cooking, and now all you need to do is just put the sign out and say, it's for sale. Like, this is how much I'm selling it for, and just slowly build. I also feel like whatever this is, it takes off pretty fast. I think you'd be surprised. It's not fast in the way that it's overwhelming and then you burn out really fast. It gives you excitement. It gives you enthusiasm. It gives you energy that you want to do it again, and it's encouraging. So I love this energy for you. I'm really excited to see what your oracle cards have to show you. The Sun card again, and the Eight of Pentacles is so interesting because it just feels really encouraging. It feels like, all right, that worked. Let's do this again tomorrow. And you follow in your own footsteps. Like you repeat, you wash, rinse, and repeat, and whatever it is feels successful. For those of you guys that are wondering about the Hierophant reversed, I was just talking to Spirit just now within myself, asking, okay, what does the Hierophant reverse look like? Why is this here? And really what this is just another nod to how you're breaking free of old norms and old ways of doing things that I don't want to say don't serve you anymore, but you are being called in a different direction. It's giving entrepreneur, it's giving travel, it's giving new business venture, it's giving new creative project or creative pursuit. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. It's like something that you're good at, that you excel at, that you've been wanting to do, that you've been wanting to share with the world. You've been prepping for it, and now is a season where it all falls together. It all seemingly kind of aligns. So the Hierophant is the breaking free of what you were doing and now entering into what you will be doing. And it's giving success. It's giving, wow, it worked. And kind of like how BehatiLife worked for me, like not to, share too much of personal, but I just loved my magic. I love my routine. I love my ritual. And I shared a little bit with the world, and people loved my intention. They loved my creation. They loved my process, my ritual. And I'm still sharing that with the world today, 10 plus years later. It's been longer than that. And I've never stopped. I've never had to look back. I've never had to switch up. And to the point where there have been moments where it's been overwhelming. I've had to learn how to not meet the demand, because I don't think that ever really happened. Like, I never was able to actually meet the demand. If you guys know, like, I've always been behind, which is a huge blessing. But I see very similar, where what you were created here for, what you excel at, what you love to do, what you're passionate about, it moves forward and it just takes off. And that is the most generous gift, I think, that the universe can give. One of the most generous gifts that the universe can give you is the opportunity to try to do what you love and share that gift with the world. So what does that look like for you, my loves? Like, definitely. And feel free to let us know down in the comments what you guys are developing, what you're working on. I'm sure that all of us in the collective would love to reach out and look at each other and find and support each other. I know I would like to support you guys. All right, let's look at the oracle cards. The first card we have here is mistakes. Wow, so interesting. So this kind of came through. I don't know if you guys heard it and remember, but there was this message that came through at the very beginning where it's like, don't worry about things being perfect. Just worry about getting it out there. Just worrying about making it. Uh-oh. Are we crying? What's up? Sorry, babies. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just make sure that it gets out into the world. Make sure that it exists. Make sure that you just get it done. You've been prepping for a long time, and now a lot of what happens next is learning as you go along, and sometimes publicly learning, right? That's something I can relate to, is you learn. There's a lot of people who are watching. There's a lot of people who admire you, but it's still brand new for you too. So your intention, as long as your intention is good, as long as you're trying to do the best that you can, that's all that you can ask at the end of the day. There will be people who may eventually, inevitably, kind of give you a hard time because in their mind it's taking you too long to figure things out. You're a human being at the end of the day. Also, make sure that you're not your own worst enemy or your own hardest enemy, being hard on yourself, being like, well, why haven't I figured this out? You're human. This is your passion project. This is your baby. And you're developing it. You're figuring it out, and you're allowed that. Okay, so just make sure that you get it done. You will be surprised is the next card. That's so true. Dwell on what you love. So these two cards right here are literally saying, do what it is that you love. Focus on what it is that you love. Focus on the joy that it is that it brings you. Focus on why you're doing this in the first place. If you guys are starting a business or a brand for the sole purpose of making money, there's nothing wrong with wanting security, but don't focus on that at all. Focus on the passion, the real why. If your why is because you want to be a millionaire, you're gonna typically what happens when people focus on money is they get a lack of money. They get a lack of abundance. Focus on your creativity, focus on your joy and why you're doing what you're doing. That's where this "you will be surprised" stands out to me, because I think you will definitely be surprised how well received your gifts, your talents will be. So yeah, stay open to that. The next few cards we have communication and forgiveness. This word forgiveness has been showing up a lot lately. I don't even want to interpret it for anyone. It's been showing up a lot in Behati Love Notes. For those of you guys that are subscribed to Behati Love Notes, because this is the third time that we're seeing this card. So I'm going to leave that there. Someone here might have a message directly for them when it comes to the word forgiveness. When it comes to communication, however, I see this as you putting up the sign, you announcing, I'm ready, I'm open for business, I'm on the dating scene, I'm going on this trip, I'm booking this flight. It's you making things happen. Like, you're not thinking about it, you are actively making things move forward with your intention and with your voice. But I'm really curious to see how forgiveness is showing up for you guys. This may have something to do, again, I don't want to pull too much into this because I feel like this is a journaling and self-reflective moment for you. And I really encourage you to take that time very seriously because there's an opportunity for growth there within yourself. But this may have something to do with giving yourself the space to not be perfect and giving your creation the space to be authentically imperfect itself too, because that's a part of what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes it special. Okay. The last card we have, wow, Earth, Spirit, and Stability. So remember how I said in the very beginning, try not to focus on money. Like, don't let money be your main motivator. I think that I stand by that, but I also feel like whatever you're working on here, it has enough security and stability that it's going to support you in the future. And that's something to be excited about. I think that that's also something that will surprise you is, wow, like these little small seeds, I keep getting this image of the squirrel kind of hoarding these nuts and hiding these little acorns around, and how some of these acorns really grow into big trees. I think you'd be surprised what takes off and what grows, and also some of the harvest that you can keep for yourself. It's very balanced. It's very beautiful. So for someone here, something is taking off. Something is going to be here for the long haul. Your goal and your message predominantly is allowing your angels and your guides to support you as you take these steps forward, as you break ground, and not expecting to have all the answers, but just expecting to get started. Because this, whatever this is, has a lot of promise, whatever it is. And it's going to be a sign of what's to come, or what is coming, like what is here, really, because this feels very excited. It feels, also, I'm seeing that for some of you guys, like a spark of creativity, taking time away from whatever this is that you're building, but taking time away to have like a creative outlet that contributes to the planning and the prep and the feeling good of what it is that you've created here. One thing that's standing out to me, and this might be an example, a metaphor, or an actual reality, is like planning and using stickers and markers and different colored pens and pencils to organize your time. There's so much emphasis on enjoying the planning and the prep, instead of being so serious, you know, because whatever this is feels like, if it's not a creative venture, or something that you create, creativity can benefit it greatly. All right. So that is what I'm seeing for you. I do want to say, reach out to your ancestors, your angels, and your guides to help you with this venture, whatever it is. Ask them for abundance. Ask them for a plan. Ask them for courage. Ask them for dedication, determination, because you're going to need all of those things, and discipline, and you'll be just fine. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Please give this video a thumbs up if it spoke to you in any way. If you love readings like this, I have Behati Love Notes. It's a subscription service where I shuffle for a small group, a small collective, and just kind of read their energy throughout the week, throughout the month, and keep shuffling and pulling and channeling messages only for them. So I'll leave the links for that as well as the coupon code down below. Until then, I will see you guys in my next video, and I'm moving on to the second message. All right, my loves, if you chose the second message, this is your reading. I have so much energy after the first message. Oh my gosh, they're like a shot of espresso, actually like 3 shots of espresso, with how much action and activity they've got going on. It's pretty excited, and I'm really interested in hearing what you guys got going on here. What is the message? What is the vibe? I've never seen these cards before, or I haven't seen what cards were pulled, so let's go ahead and dive in. We have the Knight of Swords. Okay. The Death card. There's a connection of something from the past here. Four of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles and the Devil card reversed. Okay. Right away, just like the first message, the first group, their reading and their message was really loud and clear. For you guys, I'm getting the same thing. However, it's giving clouds. It's giving overcast. Your angels and your guides, and this is, okay, we are talking about what we need to hear for December and what December, or what the time that is that you're listening to this message, what this looks like. However, oftentimes, and I say this when I'm working on a reading for someone, sometimes we'll ask a question and Spirit will step forward and say, I hear you asking that question, but there's something else that we need to say. There's something else that we need to address before we move forward with talking about what you want to talk about. So that's happening here. I'm getting an image of clouds overcast. There's something here that, my loves, you really want to handle it. You want to deal with what is creating the clouds in your life. What does this mean? This means you could have something that you're allowing to diminish your joy. You can have something that you are procrastinating with, that you're allowing to kind of distract you. Dissuade, is dissuade a word? That's kind of what I'm hearing. Like, you're allowing something to pull you down and under. It feels mental. It feels like a choice. You may not like that I'm saying that because you feel like, well, Jess, this situation made me sad. They disappointed me. I was, oh, what's the matter, baby? You okay? For those of you guys that don't know, I'm baby wearing right now. So she, yeah. Anyway, this is, you may, in your head, you may think, well, they disappointed me. They owed me. They let me down. The truth is, or this person has this effect on me and I'm powerless in this. You're not powerless. No one can make you feel things that you don't accept, things that you don't energetically agree with. That's what these clouds are and what they represent as I'm channeling for you. Spirit wants you to know that no one can make you feel less than. No one can take your joy. No one can make you feel insignificant without your permission. And if you are starting off this season in your life kind of accepting this spirit of being diminished in any way, shape, or form in your life, then it's going to be hard for you to... I'm getting an image of like a bird flapping its wings and like flying away from the nest. It's going to be hard for you to venture off, to leave situations that are unhealthy, that you've outgrown, that don't serve you, that aren't kind to you, that don't nurture you. What does this look like? Spirit wants you to see that. Spirit wants you to break free from this. And Spirit also wants you to look at how you contribute to energy that makes you feel less than or not capable. It could be something as simple as feeling low energy. And knowing fully well that going for a walk every day has been helpful to you, not only to your physical, but to your mental and to your emotional, and then inevitably your spiritual, because you've prioritized movement, you've prioritized fresh air, and it's giving you, it's restoring you. However, this would be a person who's like, well, right before I left, someone picked a fight with me, and I chose to sit and go back and forth, or to be disappointed, or to be discouraged, instead of going for that walk. There's certain choices and decisions that you can make that are healthy, that are conducive to you, to the environment that you get to thrive in. However, you might not be choosing that. So this is where Spirit is asking you to really push yourself to get up and out of this cloudy area. It's interesting that Spirit is using clouds as a metaphor, because I don't know if you've ever flown in a plane, and underneath, like right before you take off in the plane, it's a cloudy day, it's windy, it's raining. You're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be flying through this storm or flying through these clouds, and it's all overcast and, not like abysmal, you know what I mean? Like just not happy. And then you take off in the plane and you rise above those clouds, and all of a sudden above the clouds it's clear sky and sunshine, and it reminds you that my perspective underneath the clouds was like 5% of what is not even a full percentage of like what else is out there or what I could be seeing. All I needed to do was change my perspective and change my vantage point, change where I was sitting, change where I was looking. And all of a sudden it's a sunny day up there and it's beautiful and you can see for miles and miles and miles ahead. And then you remind yourself, I'm on a trip right now. I'm in a plane and I'm going somewhere. That's what Spirit wants you to look at. That's what Spirit wants you to focus on. You have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is the card of observation. What are we looking at? What are we choosing to look at? The Four of Pentacles and the Death card reversed is interesting because it's showing that there's something here that you may be choosing to hold on to. And what I'm seeing is a perspective. For some of you guys, I'm really getting this strong message that this has to do with growth. It has to do with you maturing and you leveling up. You may have had, and I don't want you to get offended, but you may have had like a juvenile or like a stunted way of like looking at something or getting too excited about something that doesn't really have like a lot of opportunity, and like you kind of latching onto that has proven to disappoint you over time, and then you kind of take it upon yourself to be like, well, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you at all. It's just that part of yourself, that shadow aspect of yourself wasn't healed yet and kept chasing that thing or kept looking for this thing to change, to help you feel better, to help you get excited, or you're waiting for it to help you move on. And you're in that point where you're realizing, I don't need to wait for this. Or like my past experiences or past disappointment that I've lived through. I'm going to stand up for a second because she's starting to stir. These past experiences that I've lived through, those were things that I chose because I was still growing. And I've learned, but now I want to change what I see. I want to change my world. I want to change my views. I want to change my outcomes. But first I have to kind of see and acknowledge what it is that I'm holding on to and how I let certain things hold me back. Now, for some of you guys, I do want to say that the Devil card's appearance here suggests that to change is going to be dramatic, it's going to be drastic, it's going to be big, and it won't be easy. This is a wonderful thing to look at yourself and be like, wow, I can do big things, I can do difficult things. This is not going to be easy. Jess told me here, but it's not impossible. And if Jess is saying, right, not that I'm the end all be all, but like I'll be the one to encourage you through this, right? And to tell you to chase a new perspective. If Jess is saying that if I can change my perspective, then I'll change my life and then I'll have a different outcome, which is what you've wanted. It can happen. It can happen. However, at the same time, if you decide that you want to stay in a situation and continue to chase the things that Spirit is asking you to break away from, people who have disappointed you or situations that don't pan out, like they more prove a point of, okay, this type of energy and this person is going to inevitably continue to disappoint me. And you know that, but you want to prove it to yourself. You want to try to fix it so that for this own shadow healing that you need to do, then that's going to be your outcome. But at least Spirit is saying, we just want you to see it. Now, I say all this and I just get this really strong message within my spirit to share with you that there's no right or wrong answers here. For some of you guys, you are actively, and I'm going to be honest with you, you're actively going to choose to stay in this place of like feeling stunted and still needing to choose what's toxic and choose what doesn't work, because there's a part of you that's still growing and still needs to experience hurt, pain, suffering, and that's why you're choosing it. I'm just being flat out honest with you. Like, you guys know I don't sugarcoat shit here. There's going to, for some of you guys, there's going to be a part of you, there's going to be many of you that choose to not evolve out of the situation because there's a big part of you that is not ready to grow. And that's okay. Spirit is saying, but that if that is the case, don't look at the blessings and don't look at your life and say that we're not trying to bless you. Look at your life and say that this isn't you're choosing a lesson, and that is okay. You're allowed to do that. You don't need to make all the right choices and all the healed choices all the time, but at least you know what you're choosing. At least you know your perspective, so that when you're ready, when you're actively ready to move away from the situation, when you're actively ready to pull away from situations that diminish your joy and take your power, you'll know that it's time. It'll be enough because you'll be ready. You're not going to be wanting to interact and engage with that energy any further. And you'll know that it's not for lack of blessing. It was that your angels and your guides gave you the chance and the free will to choose your outcome, to choose your story. And they are giving you grace and time to figure this out and to essentially choose your story, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to flip over some of these oracle cards. Then the first card you have is calmness. The second card you have is challenges. Interesting. So with challenges, it says, unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. So that's exactly what it is I'm seeing here, is that the divine is giving you the opportunity to see a challenge and to be open to changing and shifting according to divine's will. That can be tough when you have your will. My little one is, she's so cute. You might hear her grunting a little bit. That can be challenging when you have your will and you're not ready to trust in spirit, trust in the next path, and you're figuring it out. Give yourself the space, the time. I think that's why this calmness card is coming through, is this is what spirit is asking, and what spirit wants for you is a life and circumstances that are calm and not turbulent, right? So remember how I was saying with the clouds in the rain, when we're taking off in the plane, there will be some turbulence as you're flying through the clouds. And you're just like, okay, this trip, this plane ride is going to be miserable, right? Or maybe you like the storm clouds. But then you get over the clouds, and then the air clears, and it's smooth, and there's rainbows, and then you're reminded, I'm going on this trip. I'm going to the Bahamas. I'm going to Jamaica. I'm going here. That's where spirit wants you to be, is in this space of calmness, and not in the space of clouds and turbulence. So they're really asking you to move away, like challenge yourself, right? To rise above and to change your perspective and change your reality. Because you can do that. You're empowered to do that and move into a space of calmness. If you find yourself, at least in this reading, in this situation, if you find yourself in a place where it's turbulent, it's chaotic, it's giving you anxiety, it's disrupting your peace, it's disrupting your sleep, it's not bringing out the best in you, this is how you know that this is something that spirit wants you to look at and rise above. But again, at the end of the day, you get to choose your story. You get free will within this. Let's look at your next few cards. We have Keep It Simple. That speaks all loud for itself. And Be True to Yourself. That's so interesting. For some of you guys here too, you like with the whole, like, you get to choose your story. You get to choose how you grow and at the pace that you grow, and if you grow at all, right? Which is wonderful, because that means that this is a reminder of, God bless me. This is a reminder of the divine's grace and our angels and our guides and our ancestors, and how much grace they give us to explore in our lives, to choose what we want to choose. And that is permission to be, that's permission to have, like, to be free. That's permission to be supported. It's permission to be imperfect. With be true to yourself, I really feel like this is Spirit's way of trying to get rid of things that stunt you, things that disempower you, things that make you feel difficult to love, things that make you feel uneasy. They don't want that for you. They want you to remove, to wipe out anything that, again, creates the turbulence, and replace it with things that provide calmness so that you can be at ease within yourself, so that nothing is coming through and stealing your power and making you feel less than. Okay, the next cards we have the Merlin and Wealth. The Merlin is about, it says alchemy, justice, and balance, but really what this card to me represents is empowerment and magic, and being able to connect with the divine and be empowered by the divine and empowered within ourselves to change our outcome to match what we want. And to me, I see the wealth as not a sign of abundance and security that will last forever and ever, although that's there, but like what truly is wealth to you today. Peace of mind, calmness, clarity, direction, feeling supported, feeling safe. Those are things that Spirit wants to give you. That's true wealth. That's true wealth. Also wisdom. I feel like someone here is learning through their experiences and evolving into a more mature, guided, magical creature. If you hear farting, it's not me, it's the baby. She's so cute. Speaking of being true to yourself, right? Okay, so we have the Daffodil Fairy, new beginnings, new ventures, new starts, a fresh start, and again, a new way of looking at things. And I love how promising this is. I also feel like having an honest conversation, like, you know, when you sit with a friend and that friend says things that you might not necessarily love, but it's what you needed to hear. And in that, you realize, like, this friend really loves me. This friend really wants the best for me. I'm supported by this person. That's what this reading is giving. And in my life, I typically am that friend to my friends. That sometimes they're just like, why can't you just go along with my bullshit? And it's just like, yeah, no. I wish I could, but I can't. That's just not who I am. So this is kind of that reading, and I'm going to be that friend for you today. So I hope that this makes sense. I do see a lot of promise here, but really what we're doing is we're passing the wand into your hand so that you can decide your outcome, so that you can pick your story, so that you can see what you need to see and then choose according. And again, there's no right or wrong. Whatever you decide, I'm here for, and we'll get through it together. So if you love this reading, Behati Love Notes is here available for you. It's pretty much my little small collective where I shuffle and pull throughout the week, throughout the month, for that group, channeling for their energy, sharing those messages. I will link those readings, or I'll link the link to get those readings down below. It is consistent. It's constantly channeling, like, I don't know how else to say that. Yeah, I'm constantly shuffling and pulling for them. It's a part of my routine. I shuffle for them first, I shuffle for myself second, and then I call my friends and I shuffle for them, depending. So if you would like access to that, I will link it down below, as well as the cards that I've used and a coupon code for Behati Love Notes subs. Until then, guys, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next one. She just farted again. That's her way of saying, hi, guys. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, my loves, if you chose the last message, this one is for you. I did not see your cards. I have Tarot and Oracle here. The cards that I'm using will be listed down below. Also, don't forget my little one is on my chest right now, and she's getting a little restless after we've spent some time focusing on the other readings. So you'll hear her making some noises, making some farts, just doing baby things. I think they're cute, but hopefully we'll be able to get this, finish channeling before she starts crying, okay? She's starting to wake up. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. What do you need to hear for... Wow, we have 3 of Swords. We are not playing around. I'm actually getting a good energy from the 3 of Swords. The Magician card, wow. Page of Cups. 6 of Pentacles reversed. and the Chariot. Give me a second with these cards. The word that I just heard is natural. And I'm not sure what that means. I'm hearing the word natural, and I see this as someone being in a relaxed state of being, like, really, there's, like, someone here had, like, tension in their shoulders, tension in their body, and they're starting to relax. There's something here that's coming through that's relaxing their energy, relaxing their spirit. For someone, you're thinking like this has something to do with outside things that we do, like getting a massage, going on a vacation. Sure, those things can contribute, but it's to a soul level. This relaxation, this ease is deeper than that. It's healing. Someone here is coming into their natural state of being, and they're letting go of expectations that they've had for themselves. It's really interesting because it reminds me of the second message in these readings, but you've actually let go of, it's like a sense of freedom. Like you've let something go, something that has like a hold on you. It could be how you've talked. It's like if you were someone who talks to yourself tough, and then you've gone to therapy, and then it's like they hit a reset button and you realize, like, I don't need to talk to myself like that any further. I can be kind to myself. There's something here that creates peace and ease within your spirit. And for that reason, yes, of course, things can align where you can be powerful, magical, capable, but more than anything, I'm getting the spirit of peace and ease. Excuse me. I have a little bit of allergies today. The Six of Pentacles is the card of, reversed, is the card of getting something that is owed to you, or never getting what is that is owed to you. In this case, you've decided that regardless, you're going to be good. Regardless of what, I don't know if this is someone that you're waiting for, or something that you're waiting for, or we're waiting for. It's something that you're just like, regardless, I choose to be good. Regardless, I'm going to be just fine. Regardless, I'm going to be healthy. Regardless, I'm moving forward. That's what the Magician card here is showing up for. I do think that with the Page of Cups reversed, there's a desire, a need to kind of continue to purge, release emotion. If there's anything that you're holding on in your chest that's been holding you back, that's stunting you, but it doesn't feel like it cripples you. It feels like it's light, like just like expressing yourself, having a good cry, and then moving forward. For someone here, you're doing big things within your life. This could be buying a house, buying a property, or moving things forward within your life and handling it very, like, maturely, I guess, if that's the way to say it. But at the same time, you're human, and there's a lot of emotion with doing big things. So it's almost like Spirit is asking you to give yourself permission to feel. Interesting. It doesn't feel bad. It feels like you're in your element, like you're in your zone. It reminds me, okay, I don't want to put, okay, I have someone in my life who, they bought a condo. The same day that they bought a condo, like everything was like official, right? Signing the paperwork. They went to the dentist that same day. They had a conversation with their landlord that they were renting from. They also went to the doctor, and then they saw that their ex got engaged. And it was like, when this person in my life saw all those things, she felt emotion naturally, but she didn't let it cripple her. Like, she didn't let it derail her. The things that she said are things that I feel like adults, like we as adults, we choose one of those things. We don't do all of those things in one day. And she just did all of the difficult things. Who likes to go to the dentist? Who likes to go to the doctor? I have to treat myself to like something nice after I go to any one of those appointments. And this person was just like, it is what it is. And she called to talk about her feelings because of her ex mostly. But I'm like, girl, give yourself the space to kind of like unload and unleash emotion, because you just did like 5 difficult adulting things. And I say this metaphor because that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. It's like Spirit is saying, you're doing a lot of great things, but also give yourself the space to feel, give yourself the space to treat yourself to a little chocolate, or in this case, a pudding cup. Because the person was like, when she came over to my house, I was like, I had pudding and like whipped cream, and she just ate it so slowly and was like treating herself. And I was like, you enjoy that pudding cup. And then she came over the next day and she had another pudding cup. And I just realized, like, okay, all of these puddings that I got, this is really for her to treat herself and to get away from her normal of her doing these big things, and to relax and to treat herself and to feel. So that's essentially the message that it is that I'm getting, is Spirit acknowledging the work, the effort, but also make sure that you're giving yourself time again to treat yourself. 6 of Pentacles reversed is not so much what you are giving and what you're obligated to give, your duty to give, but also it's giving yourself a treat, giving yourself to something that you deserve, especially when you're making big moves. The Chariot card is things moving forward. The Magician card is your ability to be empowered, as your intention is to move things forward. You choosing to do things that are healthy and for your highest and greatest good, or you choosing to do things that you need to do, and although you're doing good things and although you're supposed to do it, it's still difficult at the end of the day, and you're still human. So I do get this strong sense that in December is going to be, or the time that you're listening to this message. Yes, baby. I know we're waking up. This is going to be a time for you to balance things out and to, I don't say treat yourself, but acknowledge and give to yourself, especially when you're doing big things, great things. You deserve that too. So let's see what your oracle cards are looking like. Forgiveness keeps showing up. It's not only about being right. That you have options is meaningful, rock on. Okay. This card here, that you have options is meaningful, rock on. This brings me to the Chariot and to the 6 of Pentacles reverse, right? This reminds me of the things that we can choose to do, the things that we can take on, the things that can help us. That, again, this message here, again, it speaks for itself. That you have options is meaningful, rock on. This means that you literally, like, you have options. You can explore different things. You can try different things. That, especially with the Magician card here and the Chariot card, you are empowered to try and explore different things and different avenues. Again, for someone here, you might be so consumed with doing what's right that you're really blocking out your emotion and your feelings. So you're going to be leaning more into, or at least you're being encouraged to lean more into your feelings, the authenticity of your feelings, instead of, okay, logically, this is what makes sense for me. This is what I'm asked to do. This is what I need to do. So December, or at least the time that you're listening to this reading, it's going to be about honoring your feelings. It's going to be about authenticity. It's going to be about paving your own way, going your own way, being empowered, or continuing to be empowered. The next few cards we have here, the Frog. Cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Again, that's so funny. The Dog, loyalty, sincerity, and unconditional love. So with the Frog, this is really about expressing your feelings, expressing your emotion, and not holding it all in. The Dog is so interesting because it does represent loyalty and doing what's right. But in this case, I see this as your loyalties may be challenged a little bit here, where something that you said that you were going to do, or something that is the right thing to do, you're realizing, even though this is the right thing, it doesn't feel right for me. So I'm going to honor my feelings. I'm going to release this. And I think that's where this forgiveness card is coming from, is the fact that some people may need to forgive you for not showing up in the way that you always have, because now you're more honoring your emotions instead of what you said you were going to do, and that was like the right thing. I hope this makes sense. The last card we have here is growth, connected to toadstools. There's something here in your awareness that's drawing your attention to pay attention to your emotions, your feelings, to give yourself the space to feel. Page of Cups reversed. They don't want you to be so stuck in doing the right thing and to be like programmed, to be like robotic, that you're not honoring your emotions or your emotional growth here. The word that's coming through with this reading, the entirety, is authenticity and integrity. This means that you're moving in alignment with not your emotional self all the time, because our emotions change, but what feels right, what intuitively feels right, where we're intuitively being led, not what is expected of us, and where we said that we were going to do this, and then when push comes to shove, we realize this is not the right path for me, and I'm going to need to ask you to forgive me, or to give me the space to pivot and move accordingly, because that's not, I've grown, and I need to do this for me now. All right, my love. So I got to go because the little one is waking up and she's getting hungry. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you want more readings similar to this one, I have a private collective. It's called Behati Love Notes. I will link it down below, as well as a coupon code. Until then, please give this video a thumbs up. I hope the reading resonated. If it did, giving a thumbs up allows me to see that it's helped you, and it also speaks to the YouTube algorithm. Until then, you guys, I'm sending you all of my love. Thank you for being so patient with me as she was kind of waking up here, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.